What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Friday the 13th, January 13th, 2023. And I can proudly say I've been doing Dolphins content since 2020. This is the first time on the channel we're previewing a Miami Dolphins playoff game. No matter the circumstances, man, I'm just excited that the Dolphins are playing in the playoffs. I know it's been a brutal path. It's been a brutal December and week 17 of January. But you know what? We beat the Jets last week. The Bills beat the Patriots. We're in the playoffs. With our circumstances right now, I'm just kind of happy to be in the playoffs. Is it a successful season? We'll talk about that in the offseason. But ladies and gentlemen, I got some guests for the first time on the Big Fight Field channel, big diehard Miami Dolphins fans. The first guest I'm going to introduce, he's got his own channel, Nando Talk. You've seen him on The Smoke Show. You've seen him on the best morning show in Dolphins community, Clock Blockers. Shout out to Steven. Nando Talk. Nando, what's up, bro?
We are doing fine. It has to be Friday the 13th, but we're still feeling nice and dandy, nice and positive for this epic Friday preview. Joseph, thanks for having me on. Pat, pleasure to meet you as well, bro. It's going to be a fun time. You put it in perspective for me, man. Like, for a lot of us, this is going to be like the first time we're covering a Miami Dolphins playoff preview because it's third time in 22 years or something like that. First time since 2016. We're here, boys. We did it, you know?
Yes, sir. And the second guest I'm going to introduce, he's another diehard Miami Dolphins fan. It's also a Georgia Bulldogs fan. He's also got his YouTube channel, Pat's Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Cerniglia. What's up, Pat?
What's going on, boys? You know, tough road to get here, but first time, 6 years that we're in the playoffs. I'm excited and see what these boys got.
Yes, sir. I am 20 years old, and the last time I'm 20 years old, and this is the second time that I'm going to experience a Dolphins playoff game in my life. The first time didn't go so well as Matt Moore was the quarterback, and they lost 30-12 to Pittsburgh. And now we got Skylar Thompson going into Buffalo. We'll get into the game, but I mean, just for the Dolphins to be in the playoffs, it just makes me happy. And what made me even more happier was to see the team happy. And that's what I got out of it. I saw the locker room speech with McDaniel and Stephen Ross breaking down the huddle. That's what got me excited, man. So the Dolphins are in the playoffs. It's a big game Sunday in Buffalo. Do you guys have any thoughts on Miami making the playoffs? We'll start with Nando.
I love that you say it's about the players being happy because I know there was like mixed feelings amongst the fan base. We weren't sure how we felt if we were going to go to Buffalo just to have a repeat of like what happened in Pittsburgh with the backup quarterback, and we should feel happy, but it's a cruddy situation. But the players are happy, man, and that's awesome. Like I saw Wilkins bouncing off the field. You saw Waddle getting hype, like the locker room post game, and just the energy over this course of the week, just knowing that we're alive for a little longer, we have a little bit more of a hope, a little bit more of a shot. It's just a better way to finish than having lost 6 games in a row and going into the offseason saying, wow, we really just crumbled. Like that's what happened to the Jets. They went from 7-4 to 7-10. Like that must be beyond miserable. Like, yes, it can all go to hell quick on Sunday, but for right now, at least, like, we made the playoffs. Our players are confident. They're happy, and there's a promising future. You know, it's a great spot to be in. Not the best, but good.
Pat?
I mean, just piggybacking off of that, the players being happy, that's always good. They got behind their head coach. I know being on Dolphins Twitter, you guys probably saw a lot of the talk saying, oh, we should fire Mike McDaniel already and all that. So it's nice to put that in the rear view. And going off of watching your first playoff game, I remember in 2008 when Chad Pennington started after having that great season at home versus Baltimore, went out and threw 4 interceptions and got steamrolled in the wild card round at home nonetheless. So yeah, that one hurt. The Pittsburgh game, that one hurt. Hopefully, just give me something positive to go into the offseason with in this Buffalo game. That's all I could ask.
At least a fight, right, Pat? Like something.
Show me something that I could just be like, okay, that's at least we have that to build on. You know what I'm saying? I know our quarterback, we're on our third string. You know, our tackles, all of our tackles banged up, secondary, all this, but just give me something.
Absolutely. And see, I still have the bad memory in my head watching that Pittsburgh game. I remember exactly where I was. I was in my living room. I was 14 years old. I was so excited. And we were down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel right now. And then in the second quarter, Matt Moore absolutely gets shellacked. And I mean, that was
hard hit. That was a hard hit.
That was not a good memory. That was not a good memory at all.
I can't believe he came back after that. Like
he probably doesn't even remember that game because he got absolutely. I mean, I remember watching that too, and I was like, "There's no way they let him back in this game." Like, he looked like he was out.
It's crazy how far the NFL has changed in 6 years, 7 years. Honestly.
Oh yeah, if that happened now, he's no chance.
He's done.
He's not coming back.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No chance he's coming back in the game if this happened in 2022. But we're going to dive into this preview, Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. But before we do, subscribe to the channel. We got the Hype Me Up pregame show coming up Sunday before kickoff. That'll be around 11. That'll be around 11:30 here on the channel, and then right after the game, post-game recap video. Hopefully, celebrating a Miami Dolphins miracle in Buffalo. So that's all coming up on Sunday. And if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and check out the post-game recap I did for the Miami Dolphins beating the New York Jets. And also, I made an apology video because I've been super negative on social media and here on YouTube. So I did make an apology, and Pat's nodding his head. So
I DM'd you a couple weeks ago. I said, hey, you might want to lay back a little bit, bro, because you were going hard on some things. But I understand, passionate.
Yeah. I was upset with the team, upset with Tua. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about Tua now. This is not about Tua. We hope he has a speeding recovery with concussions because concussions are not a joke. But we will get to Tua in the offseason when it's the offseason. Right now, we got a playoff game to talk about. And the Dolphins are going to Buffalo Sunday at 1 o'clock with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. It'll be the first time they're
got the A team.
It'll be yes. It'll be the first time they call a Dolphins game this year. So, just give me a couple thoughts. If your initial thoughts going into this game, expectations for the team. We'll start with you, Pat, and then we'll go to Nando.
Expectations. Open for the best, but expecting the worst, unfortunately, being a Dolphins fan. Seen this too many times, but, just contain Josh Allen, man. I don't want to have to wake up Monday morning and see all over SportsCenter, NFL Network, Josh Allen's career day on us, beating us by 45 points. Just play tough, contain Josh Allen, run the football. Please run the football this week. Just try to keep this game close. And if this game is close in the fourth quarter, it's playoff football. You never know what could happen, man. So just keep this game close and try to fight and get a win.
Nando?
Yeah, man, like we were saying before, like fight, get a win, and just give us something to at least be able to hang our hats on in this offseason. Say, well, despite the injuries, despite the blows this team took, we hung out there in Buffalo for round 3 and we put up a good fight in front of the world. We've got the A team commentating, so it'll be a nice time. I'm hoping we're not getting clowned around like if it starts to slip away from us. So I want to keep my expectations not low, but like tempered and controlled. Like we were saying pre-show, like we're not here to put all the pressure on one man, one quarterback. It's going to be a team effort. But that being said, there's a part of me that started to pick up Steve and saying, like, if this aligns, if this goes that way, we could see a Dolphins win. Pat's right, man. It's playoff football. Any given Sunday, like, if we're into the fourth quarter and we're fighting, and our defense can tighten up a little harder, and our playmakers on offense can do a little bit of work. Who knows, man? Who knows? Like that. Oh,
I
I
agree.
started to get too hyped, man. I started to get too hyped.
Well, see, here's the thing. The knucklehead that I am, and just a diehard fan.
Reel us back in.
I have convinced myself that the Dolphins are going to win this game. I
Ooh.
have a lot of solutions. It could be, a lot like nearly impossible, not impossible, but an extremely hard task. But here's the expectation: a lot of people are expecting this to be a one-sided game. Buffalo is going to mop the floor with Miami. Skylar Thompson's going to have a tough time in there, which I do believe in Skylar Thompson. I do think he has a lot of potential. I do think he does have potential to be a good quarterback. But if you're Miami, he's a 7th-round rookie quarterback. Hasn't looked the best. Didn't turn the ball over, which I'm thankful for, but hasn't looked the best in his games he came in. You cannot rely on Skylar Thompson bringing his A game, slinging the ball around the football field to go win in Buffalo. Because if that's the game plan in Buffalo on Sunday, I'm sorry, but that's going to backfire in Miami's faces, probably in the first half. You cannot go out and say, "Hey, Skylar, go sling the rock, go make tight throws," because he can't do that. He's too hesitant. He doesn't have the confidence, and he doesn't have the quick reads like Tua does. He was reading reads last week against the Jets like a first grader would read a high school book. And I'm not trying to be rude there, but that was my takeaway. And you can't put, again, I do believe in Skylar Thompson. Trust me, I'm putting my balls on the table for this guy this weekend. But you cannot put this game in the hands of Skylar Thompson. You cannot be like, "Hey, Skylar, we're gonna win the game with the passing game and you throwing down the middle and you making big throws," because he cannot do that. So, yeah. Anything else you guys want to add before we?
Spot on analogy, man. Like it's pretty. I like it because it's not like nobody's saying that first grader will never be able to read a high school book. Obviously, as you learn, as you grow, like you will one day hopefully be able to read at a high school level. Scott Thompson, he's just young in his career. He's a rookie, and by all intents and purposes, when he was drafted, he was told you're going to be given the chance to develop. You're going to be quarterback 3, not necessarily because of your ability, but because of where you are in your career. And now he's being forced to start in a playoff game. Like, where to be? Like, I'm not going to stare at my TV deep in the third quarter and be like, "This is all your fault, Skylar." Like, there'll be a lot of other reasons. I mean, if he's going out there and every single throw, it's like 15 interceptions in a row. Like, that's a different story. But like, I like the analogy, man. Like he's not ready yet, but I'm not doubting his talent or his potential. But it's we'll win, but I'm not expecting it to be a Skylar day.
Pat.
I mean, yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. It's not going to be all on Skylar. He's still a rookie, though. For a rookie, he is an older quarterback, right? I believe he's 24 years old right now. 25 years old. Okay, so he's got the Stetson age. I mean, it's not going to be all on him. I think for him, it would help if they use him running the ball more. I believe he's more athletic than they're using him as. Like, he can get out of the pocket and make a run for a first down. In my opinion, he's got more athleticism than Tua had outside of the pocket. So him running and getting the run game going, I know Raheem Mostert this weekend. That's going to hurt. But Jeff Wilson, Savon Ahmed will probably get the call out. I've been seeing Lamaje Pirine might get a call out too. So
okay.
Run the rock. I like Pirine over Gaskin. I feel like Pirine more in between the tackles too. So I think that would be a big help. If you can get a good run game going, I think that'll help ease the pressure off of Skylar.
Absolutely. And we'll get into more of that when we discuss the Dolphins offense against the Bills defense. But the injury report came out about an hour ago. And I'll read it off to y'all real quick. Raheem Mostert and Tua Tagovailoa are out. Raheem Mostert with a thumb injury. Liam Eichenberg didn't practice all week with a hand injury, and he is doubtful. And then we have the questionable players, Brandon Shell, Teron Armstead, which, by the way, Teron Armstead did practice today. That is
Oh,
That's a good sign. That's
massive.
I mean, the next best thing, if you don't have your quarterback, would be to have Teron Armstead out there because he's going to anchor that offensive line and that run game. So,
absolutely. So he's questionable. Teddy Bridgewater's questionable. Bradley Chubb is questionable. Alec Ingold, Kendall Lamb, and Cedric Wilson are all questionable. And for the Buffalo Bills, their injury status, unfortunately, for the Dolphins, is not too big. Their only certainties are Isaiah McKenzie and Jordan Phillips, who are both questionable. Besides that, they're going into this game healthy. Obviously, they don't have Damar Hamlin. Before we get into the game, if Damar Hamlin somehow is at the game on Sunday and he leads the Bills out of the tunnel, I might just have to take a couple moments and get emotional because I've no cap. That would be a pretty emotional moment if he let the Bills out of the tunnel 100%. So,
get that stadium fired up too.
For sure.
I think Dolphins and Bills fans alike would get fired up for that, man. That'd just be like an awesome human moment,
everybody cheering. Everybody cheering.
That's an outside the football moment, not a like a Bills moment. Just like that would be so cool. But
man.
But here we go. We're going to talk about the Dolphins and the Bills. First, we're going to dive into Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins offense going up against the Bills defense. Pat, you got some offensive stats for the Dolphins, some Skylar Thompson stats. Why don't you go ahead and read them off, my friend?
All right, yeah. So on the season, 57% completion percentage, 62.2 rating, 534 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions on the season. Again, the game that he was looking best in was that Minnesota game until he got injured, I think, where he was 7-13 for 89 yards. Other than that, he's been basically under 50% and under his highest is 166 yards at the Jets, which again is the #1 defense. So he's been getting some tough matchups. The Minnesota defense they were ranked very low, and he looked good, but he had to come in from injury at the Jets and at the Patriots. He wasn't really expected to play that much, so I feel like that was a tough task for him. So his stats aren't the best, but again, he was not put in a really great situation for a rookie quarterback coming into those games.
Absolutely. So the Dolphins are going into this game on offense. Obviously, they're banged up. There's no question about it. There's no hiding it. Tua Tagovailoa still in concussion protocol. Skylar Thompson's going to be the starter. Raheem Mostert's out. There's a couple keys to the offensive side of the ball, which I'll get into. But Nando, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you about the Dolphins offense. What do you think? What are some of the things, obviously, besides running the football? What are some things you think the offense need to do to put less pressure on Skylar Thompson?
Less pressure. Well, I mean, aside from running, which obviously we're going to need Jeff and Savon Ahmed to shoulder that load, really, especially with Mostert out now. If Armstead can't play, or even if he's limited, it's going to be interesting to see how the offensive line holds up. They are going to need to give Skylar some time. It seems like, I don't know if he gets like nervous a little bit sometimes in the pocket, but his feet just get a little bit like a little frantic, and then he doesn't, I don't know. He's just not able to complete the passes that we were seeing in the preseason. I don't know if that's play calling. I don't know if that's ability, but Skylar, toss a little quicker passes, get the ball to Waddle, to Hill, allow them to carry the load for you. You've got 2 of the best receivers in the game, some quicker concepts, and please just let the playmakers do the work, bro. I did like that he was targeting Gesicki, though. If that can turn into some nice red zone chemistry, that'll be nice to see. We just got to get that far, though, Yeah. Like, he had 4 catches. There we go, Big Mike. I like to see that.
Yeah, they're incorporating Mike Gesicki more in the game plan with Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson than they are with Tua Tagovailoa. When Tua is in there, Mike Gesicki really wasn't getting the ball a lot, and Tua hasn't been in there the past couple of weeks. Mike Gesicki got a touchdown against the Patriots. He got a 32-yard catch against the Jets. Didn't look pretty. I don't think Skylar was intending for Mike Gesicki, but
I don't think it was at all intended for him. I'd take the completion and the yards.
Yeah, but we're just glad Mike Gesicki was there at the time, because if he wasn't, it's intercepted. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Don't get the ball.
Don't force too much.
Yes, you cannot force passes like Teddy Bridgewater did to Trent Sherfield in the Patriots game for that, because he forced it on third and 15.
The game, basically.
Yeah, basically that play did.
That was bad.
Yeah.
And Teddy got hurt on that play, which really, really hurt us that game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But you just need to get the ball in the hands of your guys, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill is born for moments like this. Tyreek Hill's a winner. He, in his entire career, he's been in the playoffs, and we've seen what he's done against the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Look what he did last year. A 10-yard pass by Patrick Mahomes turned into a 65-yard touchdown. That's how electric Tyreek Hill is. You have to use Tyreek Hill as your best player. You have to, if you're Mike McDaniel, you have to coach this game like you have nothing to lose. Because let's be honest, what do the Dolphins have to lose in this game? Nothing. I don't, besides being eliminated from the playoffs, but everybody's already doubting them. They're 13-point underdogs. Skylar Thompson's the quarterback. They have nothing to lose. And you need to get the ball in your hands, the hands of your playmakers, which is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, whether that's reverse bubble passes, a touch pass with them coming around, running the ball with Tyreek Hill. If I'm Raheem Mostert's out, and even if Cedric Wilson plays, I'm having Tyreek Hill on kick return and punt return, because he can go distance. He really.
That was gonna be my question to you. So let's go. I want that too, man. I need to see that electrifying return. Like when he got put at return man last week against the Jets, I started feeling a little butterflies. Like, yo, is he about to take this to the house? They kicked it out for him. Like they made it a touchback.
Yeah.
But anytime you have Tyreek back there, like that electrifying presence, like you said, he's made for moments like this. Like whether it's a 10-yard pass, whether it's a little screen, whether it's a kickoff or a punt return, Tyreek is going to make his presence known, because he wants to go to Kansas next week. Like he wants to stick it to Mahomes and the Chiefs fans. Like there is a personal little vendetta for him right now. So let's see some Tyreek action, man.
Yes, and you have to get the hands. You have to get the football in the hands of Tyreek Hill. Some can say that Christian Wilkins is the best player on the Dolphins. I'm going to say Tyreek Hill's the best player on the Dolphins. You need to get the ball in the hands of your best player, and also you need to be able to run the ball. Establish a run game. You cannot go out in the first quarter and your first 10 plays, 7 of them were throws. That's not a good game plan at all. If Skylar Thompson has 20 passes in the first half, that's not good. That shows that you're playing from behind and you're playing catch up against a team who, in my opinion, has the best offense in the NFL.
Even when they went into Buffalo with Tua at quarterback, they ran that ball that first quarter, right? They had 120 yards rushing at the end of the first quarter with Raheem Mostert alone. So hopefully they could just stick with that same game plan.
Please.
So don't try to get cute with anything. You saw what happened. It worked. Run the football.
Yeah, Pat, add on about this offense against the Bills defense.
Just like what you said, you got to run the ball. In game 1 against Buffalo, where we beat them, we only had 41 yards rushing. But again, that was a game where Buffalo controlled the clock, the yards, everything. A game you're not going to win most of the time. Game 2, 188 yards rushing. In a game you should have won in Buffalo, in the cold, started snowing late. If you can replicate what you did in game 2, I think you actually have a real chance of staying close in the fourth quarter, like we said earlier, which then gives you a chance late. And playoff football, anything can happen.
Absolutely. So I believe we're all on the same page where the most important thing from the offense is running the ball. And I would say getting the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill. In the first quarter, you're going to want to make Skylar Thompson, you're going to want him to make him feel comfortable.
Get him in a rhythm.
Get him in a rhythm. But How about this? I'm going to throw a scenario out there that might shock you both. How about the first play of the game? The first offensive play of the game for the Dolphins. The Bills defense is expecting us to start out with a run, and Skylar just launches. He just throws it deep to Tyreek Hill, kind of like Tua did in the Chargers game. It doesn't matter if it's incomplete, just catch the Bills off guard.
That'd be pretty nice, man. Like a little play action where he just pulls it, rips it, just looks down the field, sees Tyreek just hopefully dust in a corner, and just why not let it fly?
Yeah,
like that's the type of moments you talk about where it's like, hey, you're at a disadvantage in a fight. Your only hope is punch him in the mouth, stun him, and hope that you can take down the bigger guy. Hey, man, come here, bully. I got a little treat for you. Wakata. Yeah, Thompson to Tyreek Hill, bro. That would be. Could you imagine being in the stadium? Like the silence that would come across the land as Tyreek Hill takes it into the end zone.
That'd be one way to start off a game.
But like, dude, I don't want the game plan to be Skylar Thompson throwing all day. But I think that if you got nothing to lose, if your first play is play action to Tyreek Hill, just letting him go deep, Skylar Thompson hopefully has the confidence in him. Man, do it. Just
he's got to have the smarts too. If it's not there, just throw it. No. Get it out. You can't afford to throw that interception on the first play because all that momentum we just talked about swings the complete opposite direction.
Yes, absolutely. So
talk about crowd noise. The first play, if he tries that and it's jumped, it's picked.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough to get that momentum back too, because Bill's probably going right down.
No, that's not good. So, so we talked about getting the pressure. Just Skylar Thompson can't be the reason that the Dolphins. You cannot rely on Skylar Thompson. In my opinion, you have to rely on Tyreek Hill. And as much as I don't want to say it, you have to rely on defense. And it's going to be really hard against these Josh Allen-led Bills. Pat, you have some Bill stats if you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, just the two games this year for Josh Allen against the Dolphins, 704 passing yards, 124 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's just some stats right there. And you cannot have him replicate either of the games that he had against you in the first two on Sunday, or that's where it can get ugly.
Yeah. Pat, Nando,
ugly.
I'll let you go first with the defense. This is a big responsibility for the defense, in my opinion.
It really is, man. It almost feels kind of unfair, that we're always asking them to like, hey, our offense, usually it's, hey, our offense might not show up, so we definitely need you guys to come. And now a lot of us are coming with this expectation of our offense is at a severe disadvantage with the offensive line banged up, with the QB, the backup quarterback in. Defense, we need you to show up. And then it's a bit of an unfair position to ask them to be in, but it's the only situation that we have. So we need the defense to come play sticky, tight coverage, absolutely smother the receivers. We need our D-line to come and absolutely rattle Josh Allen, but it is going to fall to them. And I'm not saying they've got to stop this Buffalo offense on every single drive because, it's not realistic. Like we've been talking about those stats, Pat. Ouch, bro. Like Josh Allen has historically had our number, man. But if we can slow them down to make them hiccup 1 or 2 times, a couple field goals instead of TDs, slow them down, and the famous bend, don't break. Give a little bit of room for Skylar in the offense to find some ways to score, and then we'll be fine, But it's going to fall a lot to this defense. Like it's almost like a 75-25 split, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think?
We need something like the Jalen Phillips fumble from the game in Buffalo. We need something like that.
A momentum swinger like that, yeah.
Yes. It was Javon Holland one in Miami, right? It was Javon Holland that strip sack Josh Allen on the goal line, set us up right there. Just some big time plays.
Yeah, we don't pick him off, but we do strip him sometimes because he's making those big boy plays. It's almost like we lull him into little confidence when he rips up those massive runs, and then out of nowhere, boop, we pop the ball out. That's all we need.
Pat, I'll let you go.
I mean, yeah, basically what you were just saying with Allen breaking off those runs. I think one of the major things for this defense on Sunday is making sure you contain Allen in that pocket. Once you let him get outside the pocket and that big frame running down the field, it's not going to be good. And another thing is try to get as much pressure you can on Allen with just 4 guys, because our secondary is banged up. The Bills have weapons: Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox, Stephon Diggs. Those guys. A tough ask for like Cater Kohu, an undrafted free agent who was playing very well, to like D up Stephon Diggs one-on-one. It's just tough. So if you can get pressure with 4 guys, it allows more help on the back end. Hopefully, Josh Allen, once he gets into the red zone, he's prone to making some mistakes. Got more guys back there, and you're getting pressure with 4 guys. Maybe get him into a bad throw. Maybe those 7 or 3 points turns into 0 points, and that's how you stay in this game, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Turnovers. Miami defense has barely forced turnovers, but in a game like this where all odds are against you, you need turnovers. Your defense needs turnovers. Fumbles. If there's a bad snap by the center, instead of Josh Allen recovering it, we need one of the defensive linemen to recover it. If a Bills receiver drops the ball and the ball goes up in the air, instead of a Bills receiver coming down with the ball, we need a Dolphins defender to come down with the ball. If it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 and they don't get the first down, and there's a measuring stick, we need it to be first down Dolphins instead of first down Bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be stuff like that it's going to come down to. And Josh Boyer, your job's on the line. I mean, more than likely, even if we win, I think Josh Boyer's gone. But Josh Boyer has to coach like Josh Boyer has to coach like he's going to get fired if he doesn't do a good job. So, you just need pressure on Josh Allen, not blitzing, because Josh Allen will carve you up against the blitz. He's done it several times against us this season alone. You need to send 4. The Dolphins have a lot of talent on defensive line. Christian Wilkins, Zach Zahler, Jalen Phillips. One guy that I really think needs to step up in this game, Bradley Chubb.
Please.
Don't forget about Melvin Ingram, too. Because
I know. But
he's been getting, these last few weeks, if you watch him, I feel like he's been playing well, too.
Yeah, but Bradley Chubb,
he's got to play better.
We gave the bag for that man. We gave up first-round pick to Denver, and he came in here and he really hasn't caused much havoc. Now maybe he will in a full season, but this is the playoffs, buddy. We got the bet. We gave Denver the bet. We gave you the bag for moments like this. Cause a strip sack. Make a big sack on 3rd down that makes Buffalo punt. We need Bradley Chubb in this game. Josh Allen, containing pressure to Josh Allen. Now, I do know that Josh Allen is very good at extending plays, and with that comes trouble in the secondary, which I don't trust this secondary. If there's 2 players on this team that I trust at least, it's Keon Crossan and Cater Kohu, because they
Darth Cater?
I know, man.
He's been playing well.
He's been playing well, but I
like Cater. Keon.
I love Cater. I love Cater.
He gets a lot of pass interference calls, though.
He's grabby.
Yeah.
Definitely
both of them all.
Good work on it.
Both of them all. I think it was Cater who got the PI call in the snow game, but I didn't like that call at all.
That was ball. I don't agree with that call at all.
That ball wasn't even close to McKenzie, but I mean,
I think they know he's grabby, so they're like, he probably committed a PI. It is his tendencies, and refs do look at that a little bit, but that Buffalo PI was some BS. He does have a lot of stupid stuff.
Xavier Howard was grabby when he came out of Baylor. That was a big.
I was gonna say that was his. This is his number 1 knock coming out of Baylor. Was this a great second rounder, but he uses his hands too much. Gonna get a lot of
early in his rookie season, I believe. It was a big problem. He got a lot of calls, but they adapt. I think Kohu will learn to not use his hands so much and start trusting his instincts more, because he's a good cornerback, man. He can play. And he can tackle, which I love.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I like about Cater. He's really good at tackling.
Screens, pitches, he's always there, and he makes a nice hit too. He stiffs him hard, man.
However, if he's covering, if Josh Allen throws a deep ball to Gabriel Davis and Cater Coe, who's like coming, I'm like, oh boy, cross your fingers. But here's another thing too that I just realized. I know Eric Rowe's not as great as he once used to be, but in his history, he's solid at covering tight ends. The last time they played Buffalo, Eric Rowe didn't play. Dawson Knox had 100 yards in that game. Eric Rowe's playing. I expect him to be on Dawson Knox for most of this game. Hopefully Dawson Knox doesn't go off like he did last time. And hopefully good old Xavier Howard can do a solid job on Stephon Diggs, man. It's a lot to ask him, but we'll see.
Another thing is, I don't know if we're going to touch on this, but last week, the Bills brought back 2 kick returns for touchdowns.
That's true.
The Dolphins special teams unit has been awful this season. You cannot give up big returns, punt returns, or kick returns, especially punt returns. If you force them out, you just can't let them get all the way down the field in a short field for Josh Allen. You got to cover well on punt returns. Kick the ball out of the end zone on kick returns. That's all. Because I can't. If Nyheim Hines brings back 1 kick, that's gonna set me off.
Oh my god! Especially if it's like the Patriots game, first play, kick return.
That's all momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're coming off a score, say to come back into the game or tie the game, you kick it off and they run it all the way back. It's like,
you cannot have the Dolphins down 7-0 early with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Like that's just. All momentum is thrown away. So we got to the Dolphins offense. We got to the Dolphins defense. And this is the portion of the show. This is the last portion of the show for the preview predictions. Now I hate giving score predictions. That's just not who I am. You guys are more than welcome to. I'll go last. I'll let Pat go first. Pat. No pressure.
I'll give a score prediction. I mean, you guys are I don't know. You guys almost talked me back into picking the Dolphins to win this game because just seeing how you guys got my confidence back up. But I'm gonna go Bills 27, Dolphins 24. They keep it close, but they lose. But they keep it close late. It's a good game. You don't get blown out, and there's a lot of good things there to hang your hat on.
I'll take it. Nando.
Boom. Yeah, man. As cool, originally I was like, hey, we're gonna grit this out, a 12-10 win, and as cool as it would be to sit here and try to predict like a little like a 2017 Dolphins scrape it by, we get a win. Realistically, we'll probably let's see if this is mathematically possible. Yeah, I guess maybe like a 27-17 we'll probably end up losing, man. We'll probably end up losing by 10, a little late.
I literally have that score written down too, which is 27-17.
I almost did something that I almost did 18. I don't think that's I don't want to see 6 field goals. But yeah, like a little
definitely 5.
And I don't think there's any other way to get 18 points.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'll say 27-17 is my more realistic score. We'll probably lose a little late. I'm hoping we keep it real close, and then it just slips away from us at the end, and we'll be able to hang our head knowing hey, we fought despite everybody completely writing us off, and it turns out to be a pretty nice 1 p.m. game. Nice round 3.
So now I'll go. When Wednesday hit, and Mike McDaniel said in that press conference that Tua hasn't cleared concussion protocol, and Skylar Thompson starting, I was really upset. I give Tua a lot of criticism, but I felt in that moment for us to have a chance to win in Buffalo, we needed Tua because he nearly beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I actually thought he played really well in that game, but here's the thing. You can call me biased. You can call me delusional all you want. It's been, you guys know it. It's been a roller coaster of a season for the Dolphins. 3 wins, 3 losses, 5 wins, 5 losses, 1 win, and now you're going to Buffalo. Everybody's writing the Dolphins off. They're 13-point underdogs. There's no way Skylar Thompson goes to Highmark Stadium with the Bills, a Super Bowl candidate, and wins Wildcard weekend. And I ask you all this. Did people expect Nick Foles to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl? Did people expect St. Peter's to beat Kentucky in March Madness? I found a tweet last night. These are quarterbacks who have led teams to playoff runs. Nick Foles, Tom Brady when he was a backup, Blake Bortles, Case Keenum, TJ Yates, Mark Sanchez, and Colin Kaepernick. Folks, call me delusional all you want. If we lose, it is what it is. In the moment, I'll be upset, but I'll recover the next day. Call me delusional. Dolphins win.
Okay.
Mic drop moment.
Dolphins by 1,000, baby. Let's rock and roll with it, bro. I'm with it. Joseph, you hyped me up, man. You were naming Dolphins. You were naming backups, bro. You were naming everything, man. Let's do it, bro. Dolphins by 2-3 TDs, man. We'll beat Josh Allen. We'll beat Patrick Mahomes in Kansas. And then who doesn't even matter who we take on in the AFC Championship. Because think about it. 3 wins in a row, 3 losses. 5 wins, 5 losses. 5 wins in a row would mean win against the Jets. And then our wild card, divisional, AFC Championship, Super Bowl. It's just fate. It's just simple science. And it's all thanks to you, Joseph.
Thank you. But here's the thing. If we do lose, in the moment, I'll be upset.
Oh, for sure.
But at the end of the day, the Dolphins were going into Buffalo with a lot of the cards stacked against them. But we'll see. I just hope we give these boys a really good fight. At the end of the day.
All you can ask for.
Exactly. So.
Go down swinging.
Exactly. Go out swinging. Just don't lose by 5 touchdowns. That's all I ask.
Please.
Just cover. That's all I ask. Cover the 13.
Teams win, great teams cover, baby.
Yes, exactly. Just cover the 13. But we're going to get out of here on this Friday night. Thank you all so much for joining us for the preview of the Dolphins and the Bills. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on Sunday for pregame show and the postgame show. Comment down below, Dolphins fan, Bills fan, your prediction for the game on Sunday. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from us. And you can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Colin_Joseph. Nando, you can promote all your socials if you want. Promote your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Joseph, thanks for the opportunity to be here, man. It was an awesome talk with you and Pat. It was a pleasure. Getting a little bit of a Dolphins vibes on this Friday. You guys want to check me out at Nando Talk on Twitter or at YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram too. I've got to step up my game a lot harder on those platforms, but mainly Twitter and YouTube. Check me out. More Dolphins positive vibes. And gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure chopping it up with you guys. We got to do it again soon.
Thank you for coming on, Nando. Pat?
Yeah, man, it was a great time. Guys got me very excited for this game on Sunday. Follow me on Twitter at Pat Soniglia, YouTube, PC Sports, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you Sunday on the channel. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. Fins up.
Fins up, baby.